All right, good morning, everybody. We're live on the tuber. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead 10 minutes before we start with the radio side of things. 10, 11 minutes, about that time. So, all right. Okay. Let's get old Jaker ready to go here. Morning, Waylon, Mike, Josh, Brian. Good morning, all.
Hello.
There we are, Jake.
Yes, sir.
We're live on the tube. We got about 10 minutes before we hit the radio side of things, so just let everybody get hooked up, ready to go.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Ready for next week?
Probably not.
Yeah, it should be fun time.
Yeah, you're never ready. So, aren't you in Bismarck this weekend?
This weekend, no. That was last weekend. I did the Bucks for Bras and University area. Yeah.
Yeah.
This weekend is this is the one weekend for the next 8 weeks that I don't have something.
Well,
yeah.
Kind of sounds like me.
Yeah, I got the Baker and Medora next weekend. I got the Cowboy Hall of Fame the 15th, the NFR Calcutta the next week, the Stockmen's Association, DSU, and then, yeah, it just keeps going on and on.
Yep. Was that you I seen on TikTok that you were selling all your cows?
That is correct. Sold yesterday.
So you lost your lease? Is that what happened?
Family situation going on here. Yeah.
Oh,
let's just call it I lost my lease. Yeah.
Okay. I know where it's at now. So
yeah, they sold yesterday. Sold really well.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So you probably got more money in God right now.
Well, I got to pay for all those SNAP payments that are going to be coming out here shortly.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's too bad. But I guess it's a good time to get rid of them, I guess. So
yeah, if it had to be, it had to be, I guess.
The futures don't look real good. So
I haven't even looked at those.
They've been tanking here lately because they're talking about buying that Australian beef, and so the futures went in the toilet. So
I don't know what the hell's going on there. They just need to keep politics out of the ranchers.
They need to keep it on a lot of things, but they won't.
That's a fact.
So I'm up in Billings right now. We're up here buying stuff for next weekend. So.
Okay. Billings. There's a couple guys from Billings that were bidding on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So how big a lots did those sell in then? What were they selling them in 20s or?
They were selling age 3. They sold them by age. Yeah.
Okay.
And the first group, there was 50, 60, 3, 4-year-olds. The guy the one guy out of Belfield bought everything except for the short-term cows.
Oh.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So, all right, stations 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on the top of the nose here on Mark. Yeah. Dwayne Shipkowski bought, I don't know, out of 214 head, I bet you he bought 180 of them.
Huh.
So, yeah. So I bought him a drink.
Yeah. 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 I understand that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Joe Painter bought the short terms down in Harding County, Buffalo area.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Yep.
which is
Well, I
kind
don't
of
have any to sell, so
uh,
I'm one of those. I'm one of lucky ones, I guess. So
yeah. I'm on my gap year now, so see what I can.
yeah,
There's a few options people have been asking me to do for different jobs, so I don't think I'll be bored. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah. Well, when your talent is your mouth, you can usually find work.
Easy now. Easy now.
I'm sure Jesse got a kick out of that one.
I don't know if he's listening yet. He's probably sleeping in here this morning.
Yeah, probably him and his pink hair and his tutu.
I tell you what, the girls sure liked it up at the Bucks for Bras.
Oh, I bet
They
they
love
did.
that.
Yeah, when he sent me that picture of him and his pink hair, I said, "I always knew you were gay. You just proved it." So, wow.
Good stuff.
Yep,
Gotta have fun in life, right?
that's what they say.
Son of a gun.
I had a guy that was here from New York hunting, and he's been coming for quite a while, and he's an old military vet. And in fact, he used to be the gunny sergeant. And so I always give him a hard time. And so I wasn't there yesterday when they come to pick their stuff up, and I made him a bunch of summer sausage. And I told Wendy when he comes to pick it up, I want you to look at him and make sure everybody's standing around there, a whole bunch of ex-military. I said, make sure when he's paying you as a bill, just tell him that it was an honor for me to do summer sausage for a Civil War veteran.
Oh, jeez.
And so she did, and I guess it was quite hilarious. So,
Civil War, yeah.
Yeah, he's actually a Vietnam vet, is what he is. But
Oh, Jesse says I actually set my alarm so that if you didn't sign on by 8, I could call in some station and try to cover for me. I didn't celebrate that hard last night. I think we were back home by like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I didn't either. I never had a drop, so I didn't want to have a headache when I was on the phone with you.
There you go. Yeah, the sacrifices we make for Saturday morning radio.
Too old to have them headaches anymore anyway.
Yeah,
so.
no doubt.
Yeah. But we do have there'll be 2 bars there for you this year, so you can spread it. I told one of them to make sure they had hams, but whether they listen to me or not, I don't know. But
I'm gonna have to get a room.
There's a lot of them doing that. Yeah.
See what? Probably a good idea.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt anything.
Gene Cox says it's good as long as they didn't pay for the processing in Confederate money.
Yeah.
Jesse,
Yeah.
Jesse said he closed the bar and he's still up, you old bastards.
Yeah. Well, he's younger than we are.
That's right. He's just a puppy.
He was probably out trick or treating. He already had his costume on.
He had to dye his hair back. He had board photos, so he had to dye it back.
Yeah. I figured he'd just leave it that color.
Figured he'd leave it and wear like a cowboy hat or something, but all these guys take pictures professionally, I guess.
Or his tutu that he wears when he's at home. But
yeah, I forgot it was Halloween. Yeah, trick or treating.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we got a Halloween party tonight. I'm gonna go as Peter Pan. So.
Take Jesse with you. He can be Tinkerbell.
There you go. He's a little bit big for the Tinkerbell costume, I think.
That'd be funny, though.
It would be hilarious.
Yes, it would.
That's awesome. All right, Jake, we got about 35, 40 seconds here. I'm going to turn you down and do a countdown here. Stations, 30 seconds to showtime on Mark. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good to have you along here on great radio stations across the Dakota Territory. From Pierce, South Dakota, all the way to Minot, North Dakota, covering 6 states, 3 Canadian provinces, and all around the world, too. Now we're on YouTube and the whole works. Scott Bachmeyer with you here. My guest this beautiful Saturday morning is Mr. Jake Wagner from Hangin' W Meats, also the originator of the Fallon County Wild Game Feed. And I don't know what else we could say about him. The gun buying entrepreneur at every the guy that competes with you and beats you out at every gun auction. Jake Wagner joins me. How you doing, Jake?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, but I'm not the guy that runs everybody off. That's for sure.
Not everybody, but some of them, and
Some
you
of
do
them,
it for
yeah.
a good cause, and that cause is coming up here next Saturday. Next Saturday already here, the Fallon County Wild Game Feed. Probably one of the biggest auctions I do, most guns I've ever seen given away in any one night, and fun for all. Baker, Montana, come on over and enjoy, right? I mean, we got 6 states listening right now, some Canadians up there. They can come down and play, can't they?
Well, sure. Yeah, as long as they'll have to figure out how to get them back, but they can come down and play.
How would that be to get guns back as somebody from Canada want a gun? What do they
I
have
have
to do?
no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. That is beyond my realm.
Because they're a little bit touchy up in the old northern side,
Right.
aren't they? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's good that we have the Second Amendment still floating around here. All right. What are we expecting for some of these guns? We always talk about some of the crazy ones that you have, some of the historical ones. What do we got this year?
We got a mix of everything again. We got some obsolete calibers that you're not going to find. Some pretty rare stuff that way. New stuff, we've got a really good jag of new stuff. Some of those obsoletes I actually have new in the box, so that's going to be entertaining to see how people go for those. And then we got some stuff you're not going to find anywhere. We have 2 Gatling guns.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, and then we also have a mini Sharps, made by a man in Montana from Big Sandy, actually, that makes some little Sharps. And we have one of those, and it's just stuff you're not going to find. And obsolete calibers. We have a 221 Fireball new in the box, and we have a 256 Win Mag. We have a 1881 Marlin and a 4090. A 3872 Winchester. I mean, just stuff you're not going to find.
Yeah.
Hard.
Those are. Can you even find ammunition, or do you have to pretty much do your own testing of these, or what's going on with that?
So some of those, like the 256 Win Mag, I actually have 100 rounds of brass.
Nice.
So all you got to do is get the dies. You can reload that one. The 221 Fireball, I'm also going to have brass for that as well. So, and that 221 Fireball, that is a beautiful gun. I would love to have it. It's just a bell ringer.
Well, you can win them.
So,
you can play to win too. You know that.
Well, it's both of those are on that side of it where you got to raise your hand to win. So,
yeah.
We know how that works.
Well, you keep your hand up long enough, you're going to win an auction. I guarantee
you. Yeah, that's for sure. We you and I have both been there many times. So, and that's how I got them to start with. So, I've already been down that road once.
You get to buy them twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, let's talk about some of the auctions that we have. So all of them are guaranteed.
Yeah.
If you purchase, whether you, I don't know if you're doing flasks again this year or ball caps again. I'm not sure how you're going to do it, but what do you have on the 13 one?
The hat table.
That's gonna be hats,
the hat.
Okay.
Yep. And then the other one is flasks.
Okay. So if you buy a hat or a flask, you're guaranteed. You just don't know which gun you get yet.
Right.
Right. So guaranteed gun auction. And then you also have plenty of raffles are out there. One of my favorite is the Predator rifle table. Do you have that one again this year?
We don't have a per se Predator rifle table this year, but we have some new tables. We have $100 table. It costs you
Nice.
$100 a throw. And then we have dollar tables that cost you $1 a throw, and those dollar tables have some very nice guns on them. So, and you'll win them for $1.
Yeah. Well,
in theory.
Yeah, in theory. How about you have like one table you had last year? Winner takes all. There was like 3 or 4 guns on them.
Yeah, we always have that. That's our 4-gun, and they're all Weatherbees.
Okay.
They always have been. There always have been Weatherbees. They always will be, and that costs you $20 to play. Buy as many tickets as you want, and you win all 4.
And I do believe that the local car collectors club is coming over to help, right?
The Bowman Car Club, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And every year you give money to certain entities. Last year, what did some of the money go to?
Oh, last year I don't even really remember, to tell you the truth, who all was there. Knights of Columbus, the Ekalaka Historical Society, the Marmouth Historical Society, the Baker AAU was there.
Plevna was there.
No, not Plevna. Webo Civic Club.
Webo, there you go. Webo Civic Club. Okay.
Yep. And they're actually going to be there again this year to help. So they come down and talk to us, and they want to be there to help. So they'll be there again as well. They're just not a recipient. We have entities that'll do that. They'll come and help, even though they're not a recipient for the year. So, it's a growing monster. It keeps growing, as we all know that have been there. So.
Well, I tell you what, 2 bars probably ain't going to be enough for that night, and it's a free will offering for the wild game feed. And I guess we could talk about that in the next break. Some of the food that you got coming up, but you have you have ladies drawings, you have gender specific, but not kids. You have man, I don't know what else you have, but you got so many prizes, and that whole building is just full of stuff that's given away each and every night. So. Yeah, so the mayor of Mobridge is coming over to spend some money.
All right, he was there last year.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, he says that's good. He said he made so much money he has to give some of it away here. So,
well, I'll take it.
Yeah, being the mayor of Mobridge,
right?
That's a high dollar occupation.
High paying, yep. You're up there in that real high bracket.
Where everybody pays for the SNAP program. That's what we're looking for, right?
Right.
And it's a good thing to do, though. I mean, you don't just keep the money just in Baker. It's spread throughout the tri-state area. And you see a lot. You had wrestling clubs. Bowman Wrestling Club was a beneficiary of some of it. And a few years ago, you got some churches, got some new siding in the countryside. I know one year you did that. Fire departments, absolutely. And they're it's just a good thing to go around and be helpful of the community, and so many people support it. So we're going to continue with this here, Jake. So stay with me here. We're up against our first break here this morning, and we're going to continue talking about the Fallon County Wild Game Feed coming up next Saturday, Baker, Montana. It's a wild game feed free will offering for that. We're going to talk about some of the food that you can expect. And each and every year they have mountain lion, which I hope, again, they're going to be having. We'll talk to Jake Wagner, Hanging W Meats, and one of the head honchos who started the Fallon County Wild Game Feed many, many years ago. We'll talk more about that coming up right around the corner. Listening right here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Back after these messages.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for any of our upcoming land auctions featuring nearly 20,000 acres of productive farmland, ranch land, and hunting land throughout the upper Midwest. From eastern Montana, across the Dakota Territory, and deep into Minnesota, Piper's has a property for you. With over 30 land auctions highlighted across 22 Midwest counties, America's Land Auctioneers have you covered. For full details and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the region, log on to Pipers.com. Pipers, celebrating 25 years of proven results.
Agriculture is a community of hard work, passion, optimism for the future, and a commitment to the livestock and land. For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing. Our local lending team knows the industry and the challenges, from droughts to winter blizzards. Stop by one of our branches today in your work boots or cowboy boots. You're always welcome.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals. Just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran-owned and operated. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for any of our upcoming land auctions featuring nearly 20,000 acres of productive farmland, ranch land, and hunting land throughout the upper Midwest. From eastern Montana across the Dakota Territory and deep into Minnesota, Piper's has a property for you. With over 30 land auctions highlighted across 22 Midwest counties, America's Land Auctioneers have you covered. For full details and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the region, log on to Pipers.com. Pipers, celebrating 25 years of proven results.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah. Benny Paulson music right there. Breaking 8. You can find it on all of the music formats. Check it out. You bet. Download it. Well, I tell you what, the Fallon County Wild Game Feed coming up, and part of not only the guns involved here. In fact, we have a little announcement. Jake Wagner from Hangin' W Meats is with me here. And we have a little announcement for those that like to bid on the two auctions that we do, whether it's the flask or the hat. And I'll let you tell them a little secret of what's going on in that.
All right. So normally on the hat and flask, we hold up it's a hat or a flask, and we auction it off, and there's a number on them, on the hats 1 through 13, and we auction them off, and then we put the numbers 1 through 13 in a Crown Royal bag and draw that number out, and they go get their choice off the table. This particular year, hat number 1 and flask number 1 we are going to sell first, and whoever buys that particular item is going to go up and have the very first choice off that table, guaranteed.
So if you buy the first flask or the hat, you're guaranteed first choice.
Yes.
And you said that on the hat one especially, you got guns that are worth $3,000-$4,000 on here. So it's pretty impressive rifles. So what are some of the calibers? Do you remember on some of these? I know there's so many to remember, but on the hat one itself, what are some of the modern calibers that you got going on there?
Well, we have that 221 Fireball is on there, and that's in a Remington and a 700 LS. And then there's a 6.8 Western, I know, is on there, and a Browning long range. I know that's on there. We have a 375 H&H. We have a Gatling gun on there.
Think I can shoot a coyote with a Gatling gun?
There's a couple secrets, but if you get the 500 round drum and an electric drill, you can have a lot of fun, I've been told.
Electric drill. Yes. Call them in and just hammer the DeWalt right there. I like it.
I don't know about coyotes, but I think it'd be a blast to go out there in your place antelope hunting with it. But, I don't know.
Maybe a prairie dog. I could get a bag of dog food out there and get about 40 prairie dogs on the mound and have a little fun too.
The other one we have is a 22. We have one that's a 9mm and the other one's a 22. And the 22 is based off the World War I machine gun that was in the trenches. And a friend of mine watched a video on that 22, and they were ringing the gong at 300.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Oh, be darned.
Well, so, I mean, you can do things with them, I guess, but and there's a bunch of other ones on there that I can't think of off the top of my head, Scott, just because there is, there's so much stuff. And then the flask table is usually, more of your obsoletes, lever actions. All the lever actions are on the flask table, and we have some old levers that are worth some money. And there's gonna be some good stuff out there.
You call that the Gene Cox table, is what you call that. He likes them old lever actions, I think.
Well, levers are very popular. They're very expensive too. I mean, whether they're new or used, they're still expensive.
Yeah, isn't that a fact? Yeah. So I got some people saying, what kind of food are we getting into here? Because we mentioned that we're talking about the actual game feed itself. And it is it's free to come in to do this, right? You walk in the door, you can walk in and play. It's free to get in. You got to bring some money to play the games. That's how it is. It's a free will offering for the food. And what do you have lined up this year? What kind of crazy stuff you got?
So there's nothing really extraordinarily crazy, but I'll run through my list. We have different kinds of sausages, and then obviously hot dishes. So we have German sausage, Polish sausage. Those are both made out of deer. We have country sausage, which is antelope, and then we have elk summer sausage. We have antelope summer sausage. We have buffalo cotto salami, and then you could run into your hot dishes, and we have moose spaghetti, Cajun antelope Alfredo, deer stir fry. We have elk, Salisbury steak elk, elk enchiladas, buffalo meatloaf, buffalo meatballs, black bear chili, mountain goat chili, and mountain lion baked beans. And I think that's, and then we actually bought some 4-H hogs at the fair this year. And all the pork and the sausage, that's all Fallon County 4-H pork. And then we're also going to have Fallon County 4-H pulled pork there as well. First time we've ever had domesticated, animal on the menu. So
we're talking not only domesticated, but treated very nicely and fed really good domestically. Yeah.
And it tasted, and we've actually got that pulled pork made, and, it's backpacked and in the freezer. But when I was making it, I sampled that pork, and I'll tell you what, that was some good pork. So, good stuff.
So one of the listeners says winning that 22 Gatling gun might make the ammo shortage come back.
That's actually, that 22 is actually a belt feed.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then the 9mm is the big one, and it's on a cannon frame, and then it comes with 30-round clips. But like I said, I think I'd go get the drum and slap that on there is what I would do.
Yeah, and how do you go about the FFL paperwork on a night like this where you're giving away over 100 some guns?
So the people never get to touch the guns, really. So they win the gun. We have gun bearers there, and the person points to the gun they want or the gun that they're going to win. And the gun bearer takes it over to our archway and then hands it to the person that won it. They get their picture taken, and then the gun bearer takes it back, and they go into the FFL room, and then the FFL gets all their information, gives them a slip, and then they have to go into the local hardware store, Baker area hardware.
Yep.
And the following day or the following, within the next couple days, and then they do the FFL work and they take the gun home.
Yeah.
And if they live out of state, then, obviously it's a little bit different because we do have pistols this year. So if you are from out of state and you win a pistol, then it has to be shipped from our FFL to your FFL, and then you do your paperwork.
It's the best way to do it. I mean, you just deal with
Yep.
the FFL paperwork that way. You do it the right way, and it's I mean, everybody's excited and they probably want to take it home with them right away. But you can get it the next day or just have it shipped. Yeah, it's simple.
Right.
It's so simple.
Right. I mean, it's no different when I go to an auction, Scott. And I walk out of there with 30 or 40 guns. I have to do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, you sit there and do paperwork for almost a couple hours at one auction sale. So
yeah, usually I have somebody with me, like my daughter, and then she gets to be the gopher and gets to go do all that fun stuff. And then then we got to get them home, and then I got to take them in and they got to be logged all in and, and et cetera, et cetera. So
some people probably wondering if they have concealed carry. You still got to go through the FFL paperwork and get that done the right way the next day. You can't leave that night with it.
Right.
Yeah. No matter what. Yeah.
Right.
And you get some people that travel. I know last year there was a few people that were up elk hunting, and I told them about it, and they drove all the way to Baker, and they had a blast that night. I think they even bought a couple of guns, and they had to wait. Same thing. They had to get them shipped to their FFL dealer where they were.
We get people that plan their vacations around this event or their hunting trips, and in fact, I got people from Wisconsin that are probably listening right now that, every year, they come to this event and then they hunt with me for the following week, and they're bringing their kids this year. So that's 4 people right there that actually plan, their hunting trip around this event.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, there's a lot of good hunting still around the country. Pheasant season opened up across the Dakota Territory now. I'm not sure on the Montana side what all is open over there.
Everything.
Everything's open. Okay. Everything that's legal to shoot at, you can go at it right there.
Well,
yeah.
I've done more elk in the first week than I think I ever have. I think we're sitting at 23.
Is that right? And you stopped doing beef during hunting season just so people can get their animals in and processed, which is nice of you to do that. It's nice to have somebody local to get that. And we'll talk about this coming up. We're up against the next half-hour break here, Jake, but there's a lot of stuff. I know you sent a couple photos to me here, some nice pronghorns. Some people have been getting some really dandy here in this area and around the Montana or the South Dakota side's been getting some doozies out there too, and some nice deer. We'll talk about that. Stick with me, Jake. Jake Wagner is with me here from the Fallon County Wild Game Feed, also hanging W meets, and we'll be talking about doing some hunting across the tri-state area. What have we been seeing? And maybe he'll give us some secret tips on making some his secret ingredient to make the sausage taste so good. We'll find that out. All coming up your way right after these messages.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for any of our upcoming land auctions featuring nearly 20,000 acres of productive farmland, ranchland, and hunting land throughout the upper Midwest. From eastern Montana across the Dakota Territory and deep into Minnesota, Piper's has a property for you. With over 30 land auctions highlighted across 22 Midwest counties, America's Land Auctioneers have you covered. For full details and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the region, log on to Pipers.com. Pipers, celebrating 25 years of proven results.
Agriculture is a community of hard work, passion, optimism for the future, and a commitment to the livestock and land. For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing. Our local lending team knows the industry and the challenges, from droughts to winter blizzards. Stop by one of our branches today in your work boots or cowboy boots. You're always welcome.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals. Just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's your tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran-owned and operated. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for any of our upcoming land auctions featuring nearly 20,000 acres of productive farmland, ranch land, and hunting land throughout the upper Midwest. From eastern Montana across the Dakota Territory and deep into Minnesota, Piper's has a property for you. With over 30 land auctions highlighted across 22 Midwest counties, America's Land Auctioneers have you covered. For full details and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the region, log on to Pipers.com. Piper's, celebrating 25 years of proven results.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Saturday morning. The sun is rising here in the Badlands of the Dakota Territory. And it's probably still dark over in Billings, Montana, isn't it, Jake?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. See, we live in the good Lord treats us sooner over here than they do in that. I thought Billings is now known as like California, Western California or something.
It's getting worse.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's not as bad as farther west, but it's getting worse.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple questions here. It says, Jake, are there still some reverse raffle tickets available?
That I don't know. Those are sold by core group members. And I think the easiest way would be to get on our Facebook page and pose that question. I don't think there's very many left, but I think there are a few. But if you got on our Facebook page, Fallon County Wild Game Feed, and asked that question, I think you'd get an answer within seconds.
Okay. All right. And other than that, is there anything else we need to cover about the game feed coming up next Saturday before we start talking about some of the monster elk that have been taken across the area?
It starts at 4.
Okay.
Food starts at 4.
Food starts at 4. You can come anytime, and but the earlier the better, and stay all night long with us. You bet.
We're expecting around 2,000 people.
Nice. Bring your checkbooks, everybody.
Yep.
That's what we're there to do, is to help the communities. All right. So let's first talk about pronghorn season, pronghorn antelope. You had a pretty decent, nice buck that you sent me a text message of. And what have you been getting in for pronghorn antelope in the meat shop there?
I've only gotten in 3 that I consider decent, and one of those was that one of mine. Mine was probably the biggest one that come in so far. But the numbers, I did more antelope on Monday after our season opened. I cut more antelope up than I did all of last year.
Really?
Yeah. So, and they're still coming. Our season closes next weekend, but
Okay.
I've done a lot of antelope. So the numbers have been up. The does that have come in have just been fat like a hog. It was amazing how fat they are.
So does that mean we're going to get a big winter this winter?
If you go off of what's on the deer and the antelope, if that correlates, it's going to be a doozy.
Elk have been pretty well. Some big elk have been taken, and you've been getting some that have been taken north of me here and around this area and into Montana. Boy, howdy, there's some doozies. Tell us some of the scores that you said.
So I've gotten in, I've done 23 elk. I've turned a couple down because I couldn't get them done in time, but I've gotten in five bulls that scored 350 or better. I got one that scored 396 and 2 that scored over 400. And then I also got in a clubhorn bull that was just amazing. I mean, it was almost as big around as a basketball and about 2 feet long.
Really? Oh, cow.
Just a stud of a club on him. And so, yeah, there's been some huge bulls that have been hitting the dirt. And, I mean, and then I've gotten in, several bulls that are just under 350.
Yeah.
That 330, 340 range. And, and the one bull I did, the last bull I did, I got 300 pounds of burger off of him, and they kept every steak they could.
So how much total meat, edible meat, can you get off of a nice big bull?
Well, if they're big bulls, if they're like the bulls that come out of my country, which those bulls are the biggest bodied bulls I've ever seen anywhere, hands down. My particular bull, which, it hangs in the corner bar, you've seen it.
Yep.
I got 500 pounds of meat off of that bull. 500.
How about an average North Dakota bull?
Now yours are a little bit smaller, and then your mountain elk are even smaller yet. So, if you get 200 pounds of really solid stuff off of a mountain elk, unless they're a huge bull, I mean, then they're the bigger, obviously, but about 200 to 250.
Okay. Yeah. And how about the prairie ones in the Dakotas here?
Those you're bumping up there. Some of those bulls get pretty good size too. I don't think you're going to see that 400 to 500 pounds of meat, but you're going to see all of 3.
Yeah. No, that's great.
I got 9 bulls in 1 week, and every one of those bulls from end to end were sausage.
Really?
I did over 5,000 pounds of sausage in 1 week.
They didn't keep any steaks?
Nope.
Not even the tenderloins? What?
Well, I believe they some of them they kept the loins and the tenderloins, but I mean the rest of them were sausage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean there's some good meat right there.
That's a lot of sausage.
Yeah, that's a lot of sausage. Do you have like a certain mixture? Do you buy a mixture? Do you have your own seasonings that you do yourself? How do you go about that? Because I mean, I do. I have both. I have ones that come and then I just got to measure it out and put it in, and some are in my head. And it depends. I mean, I have such a variety that I do, but I do have some that are completely mine and completely in my head, which I've shared, like the whiskey jerky and some of them other ones with you. So yeah. You go into Runnings or any place like that, you see all these bag mixes that you can buy. And how do they compare? I mean, what do you think? I mean, do they taste pretty good? I mean, have you tried any of those or heard any results
Oh,
of that?
I have, yeah. Most of my seasoning comes out of three places. And I don't use the stuff in the, like in Runnings or the hardware store. I stay away from those because most of those have a pink cure that comes with them, and that is detrimental to your health.
Really?
So I stick with other stuff where I don't use the pink cure. And for those of the people that are out there that use that stuff, I'm here to tell you that pink cure is not good for you.
Stop using it. Yeah. Okay. So how do you go about finding your own seasoning? I mean, give us some of the stuff that you'd put mixed together. If somebody is like, you know what, I've been doing this stuff from Runnings all the time. Now that I don't want to use that pink stuff. What do I buy?
Well, there's some places that they sell it in smaller amounts, like the stuff I buy, and you can get online or get catalogs from them, and you can order it in. But some of those also have pink cure with them as well. You got to know what you're looking at when it comes to the cure. But my main places I buy seasoning out of is P&S seasoning out of Iron Ridge, Wisconsin. I buy a lot from them, and then another one is Walton's, and they're out of Kansas. And then I buy a bunch of stuff out of Sausage Equipment and Supply in Three Forks, Montana. Those are my main three that I buy from.
And the biggest thing is to watch for that cure is the big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to use a white cure. It's a white cure, a maple sugar cure. Those are the ones you want to use. The pink stuff is an instantaneous cure. So as soon as that hits that meat, it instantly cures it. And it's also it's a carcinogen. So if you're eating that sausage every day, like if you do an elk and you do all that sausage and pink cure, and you're eating that sausage every day, it's a known carcinogen.
Okay. So Gene says, what do you use for curing agents in summer sausage?
So I use it's called Wit Special Cure with Nitrite. And that's what I use. That's my main cure. It's a white cure. And then there's different cures for different things, like ham and bacon take a totally different cure than sausage does. And, there's just different cures out there, and you can actually go onto some of their catalogs and they'll have the cures, different curing salts. They'll have a whole page of them.
Okay.
And you can go through, another thing with that pink cure, you're using you use a teaspoon for I think it's every 5 or 10 pounds. And I mean, that's not very much. And it's curing that meat instantly. Another thing you got to remember is curing salt never quits working, ever. Even in the freezer frozen, that it's just going to keep that salt keeps working. And that's why over time it'll get saltier and saltier and saltier.
Oh, I'll be darned. Yeah, so, I've never heard of the pink stuff. I never heard anybody say that before. So that's kind of some new information.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. And that's been another one people use is Tender Quick. Tender Quick is not good for you either.
That's what the old staple of everything was, Tender Quick.
Yeah, Tender Quick is not good for you either. And I do use Tender Quick on some occasions, but it's a pretty small amount. But I get your grandma or grandpa, and they want me to. Or their grandkids, and they want to make grandpa sausage, and they have the recipe, and they give it to me, and the amount of salt and Tender Quick in those is ridiculous. You're a walking heart attack when you eat it.
And that's funny because that's all I remember my folks using is Tender Quick,
right?
On everything.
And I tell those people, when they want me to make it, I'm like, this is not good for you. That's not good for you. And they're like, oh, I want it. Well, that's fine. I'll make it, but I'm just telling you, it's not good for you.
Gene
so, and I've had 3 heart attacks. So, I mean, you kind of watch some of that stuff after, the third one. So,
not after the first 2, but after the third one, that's when you really start watching.
So, but I mean, it's just those things, and we all know it's a proven fact that processed meats are not good for you, and a lot of that is what they're using in those to preserve it. So if you go with the right kind of preservative, it's going to help you out.
Yeah.
From a lifestyle standpoint.
And that's why it's so important to have somebody like yourself, and we can ask these questions too, and you can let us know. But having these meat processing small shops around the tri-state area, how many people know this, Jake? I mean, is this something that we have to make?
I don't know I don't know if everybody knows that. I mean, I'm sure they do if they've been doing it long enough. And some people don't care, obviously. And, it's one of, but, as far as like the little guys go, so if you take from where I'm at, Scott, all the next closest place going east that will, and I don't even know if they'll take wild game, but the next closest place going east is in Lemon, South Dakota.
Okay.
So Bowman will not take wild game.
That's right. Yeah.
There's nobody left in Hettinger. There's nobody left in Scranton.
Yeah. Lemon, South Dakota. Yeah.
And I don't know if Lemon takes wild game or not, but I mean, I do. And that's why I'm getting so much of that North Dakota stuff is just because there is nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Gene says Mobridge does take wild game over in Mobridge. So they're
but Mobridge is quite the jaunt.
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
There's me and there's another guy south of Plevna. I don't know if Glendive has taken them. I think they are, but I don't know. And then obviously Miles City does. And then I guess there's a guy in Camp Crook that also does it. But I don't know for sure. But so there's a big circle there where there's hardly anybody doing it.
Yeah. Well, and it's important, everybody says, hunt your own meat, get your own beef and your own wild game. It's the healthiest for you, but you have to be careful on how you process it. You got to make sure what you're using to put in there to make sure it stays healthy.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy.
If you go buy those kits, and the reason you go buy those kits, so if they have that pink cure in there, so the reason that's in there is because they've got salt in their seasoning mixture. So you can't throw the pink stuff away and then go use a like a curing salt that I use because it'll be too salty.
I see.
So that's the reason why the pink cure is in there is because there's salt already added into those seasonings, and then if you use a regular curing salt, you're just going to double dose yourself, and it's going to be too salty. Yeah. So I mean, if you have that stuff, I mean, and there is one sausage that I make that I use that in, and I don't like to, but I don't have the choice because the blend I get in already has the salt in there, and they won't take it out. Some places they'll take it out for me, and then I use my own cure, but this one will not do that.
Yeah. That's why you go to the professionals like yourself. Here's the meat. Please make it good. Right?
Well, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I will say that I do make some of the best sausage that you will find.
Yeah. And it's proven. Come to the game feed. You can see it right there.
Right.
The German, that Polish sausage. I love the German sausage. It kind of takes me back to back home country is what it reminds me of.
So that German sausage, Scott, that's one that's in my head, and I can give you the recipe for that.
Well, as long as you still run your shop, I'll just have you do it.
And it's a real simple recipe. I mean, German is real simple, but it's good. So
yeah. Well, the only German thing I know how to do and it's in my head too is red eye.
I knew that was coming as soon as you said it. So
that's the only thing I know how German wedding dances. We made a lot of red eye back in the day.
Yeah.
Well,
but no, it's like the deer that are coming in. I had a buck I did this week. Literally had over 3 inches of back fat.
Wow. Yeah, if that's any sign that we're going to get some snow this winter or maybe colder temperatures, but
and I had another guy that brought in a deer, and that was his dad, who was pretty near 90 years old, biggest deer he ever killed in his life, and so I had to cape him out, and I was caping him out, and they were standing there, and they asked me if I could weigh him, and I said, well, I can't weigh him with the head and everything. I said he's too long for my scale. I said, but once I get him done, get him caped and get the head off, he might fit on the scale. We'll see. And so I got him done, and I said, I think he'll fit. And so I put him on the scale, and he was just barely touching the ground, just a little bit. And that buck weighed 186 pounds on the rail.
Wow.
So live, that puts him way over 300.
Yeah. That's a big,
and he wasn't the biggest bodied buck I had hanging either.
That's crazy. Is that a few years ago, was it 2 years ago, you and I were having the same discussion after EHD just plowed through the countryside,
which it did again
in some areas. Yeah, it did. Are you seeing? Are they better shape now? I mean, are they coming back a little bit better?
Well, our whitetails got wiped out.
You had EHD again this year?
Yep, blue
Oh,
tongue again. Yep.
Really? Oh, I'll be darned.
Yep. Yep. And there are a few left, but not very many. We were just starting to get really big bucks again. And like where I hunt, I was seeing, I could go out in the day and I could see 100 whitetails pretty easy. And now I went out all weekend and I seen 6.
Wow.
And I know, like over by Hettinger, they got wiped out completely. Miles City got wiped out completely. They said Terry got wiped out completely. And I think there's some places where there's more than others, but as far as whitetails go, we got wiped out. But we do have a lot of muleys.
Okay.
And I seen a group last weekend. There was already 50 does and fawns in that bunch.
Well, that's good to hear.
If they're grouping up, that's another sign that winter's coming.
Well, and it was a couple of years ago. You said some of the antlers were like almost styrofoam from that EHD. Hopefully, that's kind of gotten out of their system now. A little.
I haven't seen any stags yet, but that's what it does to the mule deer. It turns them into stags, and I haven't seen any yet. But and it also gets antelope, and like right around Baker, there aren't that many antelope. But you go south, where I shot mine at, I was south of Ekalaka, there are jillions of them.
Yeah.
So it's weird, it's really weird. So.
Well, let's hope Mother Nature gets over that stuff here in a short time. Well,
right.
We only got a couple minutes left here, and I want to reiterate the Fallon County Wild Game Feed next Saturday.
Yes,
the doors open at 4:00, and it's a free will offering for the meal, all the games you pay to play, and he said over 2,000 people expected, and I think we're going to have more than that.
Well, we'll see.
I think the fire code's going to be broken in that building.
That building will hold a lot. So,
when are you guys going to build a new convention center over there?
I tried to do that here a few years ago, and I actually had a pretty sweet deal, and the county turned me down.
Really? Well, let's put I'll put some pressure on the morning show for them.
There you go.
If people if they have questions, if they have any comments here, how do they just on the Facebook page?
Yep, that's the easiest way to get hold of us. And I'm not in charge of that page, but my daughter is, and my daughter is actually, she's turned into one of our main players within our core group here, and she's really stepping up and swinging the bat and hitting home runs, and she kind of manages that Facebook page, and she does a very good job at the all of her duties plus some of the rest of our duties as well. She makes sure that everything gets done.
Yeah, it's important, and you guys started this. How many years is this one?
I think we're 21 or 2, I think.
Yeah, I know it had to be over 20 years of it already. So,
yeah, it's over 20. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a good time. Got a lot of great guns, a lot of firearms, and even pistols this year. And I just found the pictures that you sent to me of the Gatling gun the last time we were talking about it too. So it's good stuff. I appreciate you coming on here and spending a little Saturday. Go buy some guns in Billings, okay? All right. Thanks a lot, Jake. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Jake Wagner from Hanging W Meats. Wild Game Feed again. That is next Saturday. Fallon County Wild Game Feed. You can find them on Facebook. And I just encourage you just to come on over. Join us here. The auction is a great time. The raffles are a fun time. All the games to be played, and the food is to die for. So that's what's going on here. Well, just have yourself a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in to another Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Eat some meat, drink some milk, wear wool and fur, and enjoy and support the agricultural community out there. Always feeding those animals all the time. Have yourself a good weekend, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. All right, Jake, we are clear from the radio side. We should be anyway. We're still on the YouTube here. Gene says it just means it's going to be a good corn crop next year with all these fat deer.
I don't know. The one thing we never hit on, I guess, maybe it was the hunt and trip table, but because we have that as well. But
we still have YouTubers listening here. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we have a hunt table / trip table, and we've had that for quite a few years now, and the hunts have varied throughout the years, and
the
trips
year?
Also. This year I have a black bear hunt in Minnesota.
Nice.
It's next year, the 1st through the 5th of September. Your rooms are provided, meals are provided, transportation once you get there is provided, and the meat processing is provided when on this hunt. So it's kind of an inclusive hunt as far as that goes. And then I have a coal bull buffalo hunt in Nebraska and a herd bull in Nebraska as well, and that will happen on December the 1st. I think it's the 6th of December this year.
This year,
and then
okay, wow.
Yep, it'll be a this year hunt, and we get this hunt. We get these hunts from this guy every year, and we get his herd bull every single year. And so I will be on hand for that, and so I will be there to do all the skinning, the caping, the gutting, and then I bring the animals back, and the processing is included in the hunt as well.
Oh, wow.
So like that herd bull hunt, you're looking at over a $20,000 hunt.
Yeah.
It's inclusive, and you have to pay your own fuel, your own room, but everything else as far as the buffalo goes is taken care of.
Yeah.
And then we have several trips. We have them to Hot Springs in South Dakota. We have them to Deadwood. We have them to Chico Hot Springs in south of Livingston, and we have Fairmont Hot Springs, I believe, at Anaconda. So we have packages for all those as well. Those will be in different places, but we're going to have some of them on the trip table. We also have a safari in South Africa, and we've had people that have done this hunt, and it's for 2 people. Once you get to the airport in South Africa, the transportation, the lodging, the food is all taken care of. You get, I believe it's $3,000 in trophy fees that are donated. And it's a 10-day hunt.
That's awesome. So all those are going to be, are they raffle or are they auction? How does the guy win those?
It's a bucket raffle. It's a bucket raffle.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually, it used to be $50 a ticket, and this year we're going to try something new. You get 4 for $100.
Nice. Well, I'm going to be in on those.
Yeah, and last year actually, a friend of mine won the herd bull, and my wife won the coal bull.
Nice.
And we'll actually have the European skull of my wife's bull at the game feed, so you can see the caliber of bull that you're going to get it, and they're good bulls. Even the coal bulls are good bulls. So, and then the herd bull, he was around 24, 25, maybe even 2,600 live. He was a big bull.
Got to buy a new freezer if that's the case. If I win one of these,
exactly. That herd bull weighed almost 1,300 on the rail.
Gene Cox wants to know, is the coloring in the pink here or the nitrate?
The coloring is in the pink. It's bright pink.
Okay. All right.
And and it's always a little tiny pack that'll come in those seasoning packs, and when you sprinkle it on, and you'll notice it'll instantly turn that meat brown. That's part of the curing process. That's what makes it turn pink when you cure it. And the regular cure will make your meat turn pink too when you smoke it or you cook it. It all makes it turn pink. That means it's cured.
Okay.
So,
Jessica Benedict says there are some.
The daughter I was talking about.
Okay, there is some reverse left, but not many. I believe less than 8 of them are left. So There you go. And Gene says your aversion to cure. Sorry. Okay. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
But
so yeah, Jessica's my daughter, the one I was talking about, and I said to get on the Facebook page and ask that question. And glad she's listening. She's supposed to be on her way up here because she's got work to do today as well. But yeah, so if there's 8 left, and you can only buy one, and they're $100, and you can only buy one, and you must be 21.
Okay. So there you go, Brian. Brian Warner, get your ticket. Message Jessica on the Wild Game Feed Facebook page and get that one taken care of. Just going through Foresight, she said right now.
And we also have the Big 3 raffle, and those tickets are 50 each or 3 for 100, and that one has the 1895 Winchester in the Teddy Roosevelt commemorative chambered in the 405, and they only made 1,000 of those. This one is numbered 150, and that gun is the prettiest gun I've ever had in my hands, and I've had a lot of guns in my hands.
Well, it's going to be I think it's going to be fun. Fun.
Yep. I mean, that gun is worth a pile of money. It's worth more than what we have it listed for because I bought it at an auction. So in order to stay away from Uncle Sam, we just listed what I paid for it because it keeps it under the tax revenue.
Yeah.
And that gun is actually probably literally worth $7,000 to $8,000.
And you're just going to give that to me? You're such a nice guy.
If you win it, I'm giving her to you. I'll guarantee it.
We'll be spending some money. I'll go make sure I get my next big high dollar KFLN radio paycheck here. I'll make sure to bring that over.
And then all of this is tax deductible as well. So if you go spend, we'll just say $5,000 at the auctions. I mean, we will write you a receipt with our tax ID number, and you can deduct that.
Yeah, I did that last year. And I didn't spend $5,000, but I did use it as a tax deduction.
Right. Well, there's people, Scott, that spend 20 or 30 grand there.
Easily do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's, you can, we'll give you a receipt with our tax ID and you can write it off.
Nice.
If you need it. I know people like you, you need every break you can get.
So. I need every break. I'm going to steal everything I can. Hell yeah. It's like, I remember that when Trump and Hillary Clinton were sitting there debating, and he said, all about all these tax breaks and stuff. And Trump's like, I know about them because I use them.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? Right. Yeah. If they're available, use it there and things.
Well, that's amazing. These kinds of events, how, and not just ours either. I mean, you go to all of them too, Scott.
Yeah.
But all these events and how well they're supported and attended.
Yeah. Yeah. People, we live in an area out in this tri-state area, man. If there's somebody that needs help, there's people that are going to show up and support it.
And, I never dreamed, when we first started doing this, we literally, we raffled off one gun. Yeah. When we started doing this, we owned a bar and we had all of this wild game we needed to, because everybody in my family hunted and I had all this stuff I needed to get used up. And so we decided to do a game feed, and if we're going to have a game feed, we better raffle a gun off. So the very first one, there was one gun. And and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And, now we're in the biggest building we can possibly be in the county. We give away anywhere from, 100 to 135 guns a year away. Mm-hmm. And this year, I think we're sitting at 102. If you had told me this at the beginning, I'd have laughed at you.
It's growing, isn't it?
It's amazing.
It's so
and you've been with us for probably about the last, I would say, 8 to 10 years. You've been with us, and I mean, you started coming when we got to the, kind of the big show.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Yeah, it
really is.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good night. It's just and it's fun for everybody. I mean, you guys have little games for kids, you have them for adults, and yeah.
I don't remember exactly now how many, but I think we got 10 to 12 guns we're just going to give away.
Nice.
Yeah. So
before I forget, what's the name of that hotel over there? The nice one.
Red River.
Red River. Okay. I'm going to
Red River or the Montana are your two nicer ones. And then there's also the Sagebrush. And then the other one, the Lakeside, is full. So I know better than say to try that one. But okay. The Red River is the newer one. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give a call when we get off here. Because I don't feel like driving all the way home on next Saturday already.
Right, and there's already been a bunch of people that have talked to me wanting to know, where to stay, and I'm like, well, these are your options, so get them now.
get them while you can.
And on top of that, it's hunting season too, so
yeah.
And
man, what'd you call it? The Red River, that one.
Red River, yep. Or the Montana.
Red River Inn and Suites. Okay.
Yep. And then the other option too, I guess, is there are, if you had a camper, there's on the south side of the building, there's those RV places where you can put RVs.
I don't have a camper.
Well, I don't either, but I know people that have brought them in there and and set them in. So, for the night. So
Guess who's on the phone with us here?
Jesse?
I got a camper, you big bastard.
Yeah.
You bring the camper on and set it up. I'll sleep in it.
Might not be a bad idea.
Just don't have a black light with you, Scott.
Oh, no doubt. I'll sleep on the table.
I
Well,
just-
that's probably not even safe. Yeah, there's a couple of Airbnbs your daughter says too around the area.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
There is. I don't know what those are, but she would. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't usually keep track of those too much, but yes, there are some of those. That's right. So, and I mean, Scott, I mean, Jessica, my daughter, she'd probably let you sleep on her couch. So you just have to put up with all her cats and dogs. What do you say?
He said, talk about needing a black light.
He's listening, Jesse, so be careful. So make a baseball bat to you.
That probably wasn't a good move. I'm probably going to have to watch my back when I get there next weekend.
Yeah, she'll have a baseball bat waiting for you. So you never text me back, Jesse. So are you clear for next weekend or not?
Yes, sorry about that. So I got a little bit of an issue. My daughter, Karina, her first home basketball game is Friday. So we are probably going to show up pretty late in Medora if we even get there in time to help at all. But I will be able to make Baker on time as usual or whenever we get there anyhow.
All right. Well, make sure and bring your wife so she keeps the leash on you. So
I don't know if that's going to happen again this year or not, but
and she's way better to look at than you are. So
I don't know. I hear you.
Well, Jessica says she'll put a cot up in the meat shop, and Jesse, watch it. Game is on.
I haven't got to see her since last year. I usually run into these guys at a gun auction or two, but I haven't been to many the last year or so.
Oh, she's scared to go to gun auctions with me now because I make her bid, and then she gets all Twitter pated, and she thinks she's going to have a heart attack. And
a couple of years ago, you were trying to season her up to do all the gun auctions, so you didn't have to.
Right.
Yeah,
well, she's going to start.
Quite as bitchy as yours is.
She's going to start here. I'm just going to send her by herself here one of these times. So.
Fuel by fire. She says, She says, I hate auctions, all in capital letters. But she did say she loves auctioneers.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, I think she likes to go with me, but she don't like to be the one pulling the pin and buying it. But I think she likes to go.
Yeah.
Right.
I may have added that last part.
Yeah. Well,
she likes you guys. You think about the dollars that you guys run through, whether it's buying or selling. It's a big undertaking, and I give you guys credit. That's a lot of bookkeeping, accounting, creative accounting sometimes to get things done, and
right.
It's a lot of work.
It is, and that's why we have a committee. And I get yelled at by the treasurer and the secretary all the time. Because receipts and all that, and then of course I lose one, and then I really get my ass ate out. And I'm like, well, I know it was this amount of money. give or take 5,000. It was at least this much, But and you both have been to the auctions I've been to, and and when Scott was saying earlier that I'm the guy that runs everybody off, and there was one auction, and neither one of you two were there. It was last winter, and I went to it, and there was specific guns there I was going there to get, and I would be bidding on those guns, and they were running me to the moon, and they were doing it on purpose. And so after about the third time that happened, I'm like, all right, you guys want to play the game? We'll play the game. I ran every single gun on that whole auction. And I was dropping them on, Mossberg Patriots at $600.
$400 gun.
Yep. And I ran every single gun to the moon, and I only walked out of there with 9 guns, and I wasn't real happy. And I went back.
I bet the individual that was selling his guns was super happy you showed up. And got mad.
Yeah. And I bought 9 guns and spent, I think, $20-some thousand. And so the next weekend,
about the guns that you buy is you're looking for a specific type of weapon, and those that have been at your banquet know that.
Right.
You're not going and buying the Mossberg Patriots. You're buying either old collectibles, not one-off calibers, but rare calibers. If it's going to be a new gun that you buy or a not a collector style, you're probably going to either just order it in, or if it's a newer gun that isn't made anymore, you might go after it. So you're running prices up, but only on specific things that you absolutely need for your banquet.
Right. And then I went back the next weekend. They had another auction the next following weekend, and I went to it. Same place, same people, as far as the auctioneer goes. And I went in and I was sitting in the front row like I always do. And this guy come walking by and he goes, "Oh, you're here." And I said, "What the hell is that supposed to mean?" Because I didn't know him from Adam. And he goes, "Well, you were here last week, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're the one that ran everybody." And I said, "Well, just because they pissed me off." I said, and he goes, "Well, maybe I'll just go home." He goes, because I don't want to butt heads with you. And I'm like, "What are you wanting to buy? Show me." And so he showed, and it was a pistol. And I said, "Well, you can have every pistol here. I don't give a shit about that." And so then he sat next to me during the whole auction, and I ended up buying 37 at that auction. And his pistol come up that he wanted, and he quits bidding on it. I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes, "It's kind of past my budget." I said, "Well, you're here to buy, aren't you?" I said, "You don't say whoa in a horse race." I said, if you want it, buy it. Keep raising your hand." And he did, and he ended up getting it bought. And he goes, "Boy, my wife is going to be mad at me." And I said, "Well, you can throw me under the bus. I don't care." So, but I mean, then that is true. And what you said is also true, Jesse. And if it's a specific one that I want, I'm going to buy it.
You're going.
And there's a reason I'm buying it. And like you said, it's an obsolete, or it's worth money, or, there's something unique about it or whatever. But if I'm going to buy that gun, I'm going to buy it. And it's a good thing walking into an auction sale with a checkbook that, it's not my money I'm spending. It's money I'm spending, but it's not my own personal. And that helps you out from a buying standpoint.
Yeah. A few years ago, you had a table, if I remember right, the whole table was Winchester Model 70 Featherlights.
They were pre-64s.
Or pre-64s, and you were missing a couple calibers. Well, I'll guarantee you walk into an auction and they have one of them guns that has the caliber that you're missing, it was going to get dangerously high.
Yep.
Because you wanted that complete set on the table for the event. And that's why you get the 2,000 person or more crowds. That's why you've had the success that you've had for over 20 years.
Well, we didn't start being able to do that for all about the last 10, but to be quite honest with you guys, when we started doing this, we didn't have, we weren't big, we didn't have money, I didn't have any money, and actually there was a very, very good friend of ours who's no longer doing it that bankrolled us on the guns. On my name, with no collateral, no nothing, just on my name. And so I'd go into those events with, 50, 60, 70 guns that hadn't been paid for yet. And it was all on the bet that it was going to be a success.
Yeah,
and without that one person, that event would have never happened without that one person that had faith in what we were doing.
Right.
So, that's, all the kudos in the world to him, and this event wouldn't happen without that one person.
Yeah.
So, and I was sweating bullets because I'm on the hook for $100,000 that I don't have.
Right.
If it flops, then it falls back to me, or it would have fallen back to me, and then there I would have sat going, uh-oh.
The mayor just chimed in. He says he heard that a good auctioneer will let you know when something goes too high.
Well, Well, it's pretty funny when I go to these gun auctions and the auctioneers are asking me what the guns are worth and where to start them.
Yeah. Well, it's because you know where they're at.
Right.
Yeah.
I do. And I didn't know, honestly, shit from Shinola on guns. I mean, I knew guns, but to the extent I know now, that was all trial and error and research on my phone. And, and then I have some other, people that are, dealing guns, and I get back with, 30, 40 guns, and I pull 3, 4 of them out and have them look at them and tell me, what they're worth. So I know whether I hit the mark or not.
Yeah.
So it's all trial and error. And that's why my daughter, she's scared of screwing up. And I'm like, I've screwed up. I've been burned many times. And it's going to happen. So you think you bought something and you find out it's a baseball bat. So
one thing I love about Jake being on the show, Scott, is I get to hear things that I haven't heard in so long. Like the word jillions, the saying shit from Shinola. There was a couple of others today that I can't remember now, but some old things that come out of the woodwork when Jake's on the show that just make me so happy.
Well, I can't help myself. Jesse. It's just, it comes out naturally.
Well, they're all ones that we used to say a long time ago, and just nobody uses them anymore. It just brings a smile to my face.
Well, you got to be so, politically correct anymore, so you don't offend somebody. Well, you know what you can do with that. So.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I got to get rolling here. I got to take my trailer back to the Marmouth.
Oh.
I got a ground load trailer that I got to pay for that whole thing. So.
All right. Well, I got to go spend about 40,000 today and tomorrow. So
do it so I can win it for $100.
There you go. There you go.
All right, man.
And
thanks, Jake.
All right, you guys have a good day, and thanks for having me on. And I'll see you next weekend.
All right, catch you later, Jesse. I'll give you a buzz on the cell phone.
You bet.
All right.
You bet. See you guys. All right, YouTube. Thank you. Good show. Thank you, Waylon. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Enjoy.